Have you seen Conan's balls?
They're as smooth as Arnold Schwarzenegger's political stances, I guess.
Oh, it ended early.
Ooh, look at that. Wow.
Rise and shine, my sinners. When Father Evil starts his day, he gets a little deadly. Deadly Grounds coffee has the richest, smoothest flavor you'll find anywhere. It's sinfully delicious. Once you go deadly, you never go back. Order yours at getdeadly.com. Coffee's so good, it's scary.
The Dorkening and all affiliated shows are not intended for anyone under the age of 18. The following may contain discussions or scenes that have adult situations, graphic violence, nudity, strong sexual content, and graphic language. This show is intended for mature audiences only. Viewer discretion is advised.
And here we are. We are now live for another awesome episode of The Dorkening. And I just want to give you a heads up. We're going to be talking about it later. But Victor Crowley's Hatchet Halloween Tales 2 is available right now. You can order your copy from, I believe it's not, where can people get it, Alex? I was going to say Oxeye, but that's Patrick's book. Also, you can get it from your local comic book shop as well. And I ordered my copy. Should be here shortly. So Hatchet Halloween
Awesome.
2. And yeah, Alex, where can people get it?
You can get it at any comic book shop you're at, and you can also, get it at the Area Skull website where you can choose through the varying covers. It's also signed by Adam Green if you order it from there. And yeah, pretty much comic stores everywhere at the moment, as long as you order it and see if they have a copy. But if you want, you can have them, add it to your poll, and it's super exciting and surreal. I'm so glad it's finally out.
We're glad it's out too. So happy for you. James, how's it going, my friend?
I didn't know I had to be dressed so fancy.
Yeah,
he's just so
God, yeah.
dapper.
This is where sorry, I just got in my pajamas.
What are you? Are you Barney from How I Met Your Mother, sleeping in a suit?
What can I say? I'm legendary.
Wait for it.
I thought it was legendary.
Wait for it.
Yo, yo. Hello, yo, yo. Did we lose the yo-yo's frozen?
I feel he's disappointed.
Yeah, there he is. Hi,
There he is.
Yeah, I just felt underdressed, so I left.
Oh, okay.
Your cat
I don't
was
know.
like after this.
I seriously, literally, I got dressed because I figured since it's going to be an hour-long intro, I might as well see if I have time to actually put on a goddamn suit, and I pretty much was right.
But I played the wrong one, so it was a much shorter version, like half the time.
So you could have changed
half the
into
time,
it,
and I was still able
changed out of
to.
it.
I was still able to adjust a tie, get my suit on. Great.
Yeah. But it wasn't 10 times as much as Bill and Ted made for the VOD over the theater. Did you guys see that? The numbers for Bill and Ted 3 came in?
No, I did not.
Yeah. So it did.
That was such a ham-fisted comparison. I don't even know how to handle that.
Hey, I'm getting better. So it made 3.2 million at the theater. The VOD it did 33 million.
And what was the did they say how much it cost to make? I know they did a kind of a shoestring budget.
25 million.
So I mean, it made some of its money back. I mean, it probably broke even at the end of the day with all the advertising, but it didn't really feel like it did a ton of marketing.
Yeah, no,
because there's nothing to market to.
Yeah.
I'm good. I'm glad. Like I said, that was definitely a surprise. I'm glad it came out this year. I enjoyed it very much. I've gone back and watched it like one or two more times. I mean, it really is, a good way to end that story. And rewatching it, you pick up a little bit more of the jokes, a little bit more of like the subtleties from it. But they do a bunch of callbacks to the first one and second one, which was just very enjoyable. I mean, right off the bat, it was like, oh, you remember what happened at the end of the second movie? Oh yeah, that all happened, and then it all fell apart. Like I thought that was so like funny how they're like, yeah, that all happened, but it didn't end the way you thought it did.
Yeah.
So
I still haven't seen it.
It's Alex, it's worth the watch. It's like 90 minutes. It's like exactly 90 minutes. It's super like quick. The plot moves at a good point.
I'm not saying that I did it. I chose not to see it. I just haven't seen it yet.
Okay.
I mean, me and Jen watched it one night, and it was like one of the best characters in there is the robot, which is he's definitely one of the better comedy foils in it.
What kind of blows is that I had plans to see it, but every time I made a plan, they didn't work out. So every time I've been able to see it, it was like, nope, can't do it. Okay, fine. Now we're here.
The one thing the one takeaway I did have with it was it ended and it like ended. It was like climax, poof, done. Like there was not a lot of like exposition like afterwards, like some of the other ones have done. It kind of was like, here's the climax, and it just ends like 2 or 3 minutes later. So, I mean, that's very much nitpicking a movie that had 2 sequels, which people thought some people don't deserve should have had 2 sequels, or even a third movie after the second one was so radically different. So, I enjoyed it. I still wish George Carlin was still alive to be in it.
Yeah.
I mean, I say the same thing, him in some of the Kevin Smith movies that he's done, it's sad that he wasn't part of it, and they do a nice little nod to him, which was very nice. But again, it's definitely, it's a fun watch. It's a popcorn movie. Definitely. I went back and watched the first and second one right afterwards. And it holds up. And like I said, it's the character development you have, even from just Keanu Reeves' character. is definitely very much of some people. I always felt like was very much how it is in the, when you're middle aged and you're growing up and you have a family, and sometimes you have to let those dreams go. And him coming to that realization is very interesting, and especially from that character. But one of the funniest things too is I just, and this kind of a spoiler, but not really, Alex. If you want to take your headphones off, you can. It doesn't really do anything for the plot. It's just it's a cool cameo.
Dave, I'm not scared of you saying anything. I'm scared of Leo doing a follow-up that absolutely does spoil it.
So David Grohl's in it.
I'll never forgive you about that stupid ass. What movie was it? It was that evil Superboy movie that came out.
Burn Bright.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just straight up spoiled that movie by trying to be vague while spelling out the goddamn plot.
Oh yeah, I remember that too.
But
I mean, Alex, like I said, it's nothing major. It's just someone who's in the movie. It doesn't do the plot much anything.
I still want to be surprised. I'm the last person on the internet that enjoys surprises people. Like shit.
Okay. So Alex, take him off, and I will give you the thumbs up when it's safe to go. So I did like that David Grohl was kind of like a surprise cameo in it, because it just shows how awesome David Grohl is and how much he can have fun with it. And I thought that was just kind of one of the cooler moments in the movie too, because it literally he's in there for like 2 seconds, but it's one of those reactions, and what the heck, what he says in it is just fantastic. So, I definitely enjoyed it. And also, like, go back to the robot. Alex, you're good. So the actor who plays the robot is in Barry. You're good. Yep, good. Yep. All are welcome. Welcome.
I was enjoying some good reads. Sorry about
there you
that.
Go. No, I met the actor at Massive Comic-Con the first year. He was there, one of their guests for the Massive Comic-Con in Worcester, and he was super nice. He came over to the Masters Ghostbuster booth, drew our tickets, signed autographs, took photos, interacted with us, to a point where, like I said, we asked him to pull the raffle ticket, and we waited, and he was like late, and his mom was there. We met his mom, and then so he was late, so we started doing the drawing, and then all of a sudden you hear yelling down like the aisle, like, I'm coming, and he's running down the aisle to come pull this ticket. It was one of the coolest experiences, and I'm glad that he's gotten nominated for Emmy or a Golden Globe for Barry and all this stuff. But it was kind of one of those things when I found out that he was, the robot, I was like, oh, that man's perfect, and it was like perfectly cast. So definitely, go see this movie. It's on Leo's Plex.
Yeah.
If you need to get it, and it's on there so you can watch it whenever.
Alex, are you on Plex? Are you on my Plex?
Yes.
Okay.
Then you have no excuse.
Time.
No excuse.
Time.
Who did he play in Barry?
I literally worked in a comic book.
His name is Andrew something. Corrigan.
Oh, Anthony Corrigan.
Yeah,
Yes.
He was at Massive because he was there for Gotham and The Flash.
Yeah. Okay.
He was Victor Zazu in Gotham, which I thought was like perfect casting.
Yeah, and his character on Barry is hilarious as well.
Yeah.
Nice. A very underrated Batman villain, but not too much to do with him except with like, oh, he does what? Gross. But he like kills people and notches them.
So we're entering spooky season tomorrow.
Spooky season all year round for me.
Did someone go wake up Green Day?
No, why?
Did you make up that joke?
Yes, I did right now.
And September ends. Yeah.
It's
Alex,
thank you for joining back with us, Leo, after that near 20-year-old near joke at this point?
No, 2004 American Idiot came out.
Okay.
So
16 years.
Okay. So
hey, he can get his license now.
He gets his license.
There we go.
You know what that is? I still refer to that as like the new Green Day.
Alex, going back to your thing, the one thing, I can tell you about time is death is but a doorway, but time is a window. I'll be back. Said by the famous Vigo Carpathian. before his death, before his head died.
Walt Disney?
Yes.
That was a Ghostbusters reference, but yes, Disney. I honestly could see him saying the same thing. So
Something about anti-Semitic, whatever. But yeah, no.
I
Going back
always
to what
found
Lee-
that super suspect because there's a documentary about that of how he wasn't anti-Semitic and how that's kind of just like popular like culture kind of popped up with it and people just kind of made it like a meme at the time and people just kept passing around where he was pretty accepting. But I still find it kind of skeevy because the documentary itself was actually funded by the Disney Foundation and stuff like that. So a lot of it seems like
propaganda.
as Among Us say, seems pretty sus.
So sorry, Leo. We were talking about
Well,
something.
we're entering spooky season, so there's gonna be.
Did we wake up Green Day?
Yeah, we're gonna
Okay.
wake up Green Day when September ends. Yeah.
Let's keep this bit going.
Okay.
So everyone just leaves. They're just like, are they even going to promote anything? Like they've been talking about this Green Day joke, and they haven't even like promoted Deadly Grounds or anything. They're just, oh, there we go. Yeah. So Green Day, wake them
Yeah.
up.
What are you drinking, James?
Green Mountain Nantucket Blend.
Green Mountain.
When I can get a K cup of Deadly Grounds, I will buy the K cups. I don't have a reasonable
You don't have the
K cup thing.
You don't have the new K cup that you can put in grounds as well.
No, I haven't gotten that, Leo,
Okay.
because I have nowhere to throw the grounds away when I'm done with them. Because throwing grounds down the garbage disposal is bad.
There's a trash.
Yeah.
That's what I do. I use it. But more than
Says Leo. Leo, is that a disposable cup or is that a
Disposable cup, yes. Yeah, so this here is a luxury. I haven't had these in a while. I love the fuzzy
Why
cup.
don't you just get a mug? What's wrong with a mug?
I have a mug.
I just rather hurt the environment.
I'm a klutz.
I mean, I can't really say I'm using K cups, which is equally as
Yeah.
cancerous as like the to-go cups.
Yeah.
So, I mean, especially on our show where we're sponsored by the company, it's like one of those things like you watch American Idol, they have the Coke bottle like perfectly like centered,
They do.
like
an Am Sandler movie.
yeah. So completely off topic. I started watching an Apple TV Plus show this week.
Oh, what'd you watch?
Ted Lasso
Ted Lasso.
with Jason Sudeikis.
Okay. I need to log back into it.
It actually isn't that bad. I mean, for me, it's more of a sports show because he's an American football coach going to England to coach a soccer team. The actual season finale is on Friday, and I binge watched it, and it was actually like really good. There were some really good episodes, good writing. Especially and you couldn't realistically and this is maybe one of the better things about it is like I couldn't tell it was an Apple product until the ungodly amount of Apple products that there were in there.
Yep.
There's points in the show where they're literally walking down the hallway and they're just holding the phone like this.
Wow.
Like look at my iPhone, and I was like, okay, got it, guys, we got it. You're an Apple show, but the quality was good, the writing was good, directing. I was very, very impressed. So I mean, I that's nothing else on the network really screams to me to watch.
Well, did you watch the morning show?
No, like I said, I mean, it's one of those things like on my Facebook account and Twitter and wherever Google's tracking me with, was like, you would like Ted Lasso, so we're going to keep showing you clips and talking about it and sponsoring stuff by him. So I was like, I got it, Apple. I will watch this show.
Well, since you're logged in, you should definitely check out the morning show. But if you don't have time for that, if you're looking for a quick watch, Central Park. Oh my God!
Yeah, it's heard by it's this guy who did Bob's Burgers.
Yeah, it's absolute genius.
One moment.
Don't go to his screen. Go to his screen. Go to the Yo-Yo screen.
Bow chicka wow 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 chicka wow 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 bow chicka wow wow.
Oh, you dastardly fiend, you. Oh.
You're just gonna be like, I'm done with this show.
Yeah.
But no. So Leo, going back to your spooky time, I just wanted to talk about it for 10 seconds. I wanted to plug it quickly.
Yeah.
So definitely watch it. It's a good show if you like sports and you want to check out Apple. I got it free because I got a new Apple phone for work, so I got the free year with a new Apple product. So it was pretty cool. But no, yeah, spooky season's right around the corner. I'm already excited. We decorated the house this weekend. So it's
nice.
all festive. Oh, look, he's back.
You dirty dog, Yo-Yo.
Oh, yeah, you dirty dog.
Muted.
Why did that mute all of a sudden? No, I had to close my window because the people somewhere in my neighborhood are practicing their band, and I could just hear them. And
It's okay.
Was it smooth
It's
jazz?
no,
Ooh, here we go.
not a bad drummer, but
No, but it was interesting. So we were going out shopping for decorations this weekend. Hello, Facebook user.
Why, thank you.
So we went out shopping this weekend for Halloween decorations. You know, we kind of made it, you know, because God forbid anybody does anything like festive for Halloween this year. But when we went to Target, it felt like we went to Target, Michael's, Joann's, and Spirit. I went to Spirit. And Spirit was pretty. Would you expect from Spirit? It felt like they were still building the store. But you know, good costumes, not a lot of props this year, not a lot of like special effects, which I was very, very interested about, was kind of what they had. I know this year the one I wanted to get was they had a couple Beetlejuice things. They had like the Facebook user is Wolfie. Hi, Wolfie.
Hey. So Wolfie, you need to like StreamYard so that you can it'll show up with your name.
that seems like a kind of a dick move by StreamYard, though.
Yeah, that is kind of a dick
Yeah,
move.
it is.
Like my pager, no one will know it's you talking.
Don't do this.
Yeah.
Well, now he could just, say horrible things and be anonymous, so that's kind of good.
Exactly.
Oh,
Look, it's not Wolfie.
It's like, nice suit, dipshit. It's like, why'd you show that, Leo?
But it was interesting because like I even said this on I posted it today, and because there's eggnog already in the stores and stuff, and a lot of stores are now like their Halloween stuff's already condensed into one area, and the Christmas stuff's already starting to take over. But I remember reading an article that were saying that Halloween is the second largest holiday for purchases next to Christmas.
Yep.
And if Halloween sales are slow, that retailers are going to push Christmas earlier to kind of get that rush. Okay, it's not even October 1st, and the majority of the Halloween stuff is 50% off.
oh wow.
And it's already been like cannibalized to like one or two sections. And it feels like Target just put up their section for Halloween, and they're already starting to shrink it down. So, I mean,
we're gonna get a lot of really good indie horror movies if we're gonna have really cheap like Halloween stuff this year. I'm not looking forward to all the COVID like lockdown horror movies that we're gonna get in the coming years because of this.
all the
But the
contagions.
vats of blood being on sale, it's gonna be great.
Well, for me, I've always wanted a fog machine. So
Ooh.
They're not great for asthma.
Yeah, but
I once bought, they have like those jelly blood capsules that you can put in your mouth and you bite to like bleed. I remember I tried to do that back when I was in high school.
did you make you bleed your own blood?
No, what happened was I put it in the back of my mouth because I wanted to bite into it and just like spit blood across the table just to screw with people in the middle of class. But as soon as I popped into my mouth, the taste of like the weird rubbery plastic was so disgusting. I almost threw up instead on contact of it hitting my tongue. So like people were more concerned because I was like dry heaving out of nowhere. So like I got the reaction I wanted, but people thought I was dying.
You should have stayed committed and bit down just a little bit so start dry heaving and blood comes out.
Exactly, but it was that bad where it's just like I could not fight the urge to throw up. So I was like, fighting. Like if I bite down, they're going to be more concerned because I'm going to be puking out blood, and I'm going to be like, no, I was doing it to mess with you. Is there a pumpkin spice eggnog?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Leo's reaction to that.
Well, Leo got really serious there for a second. That's like Leo's serious verse. Really? Like
that was like bedroom talk for Leo.
Can you guys hold on for 10 minutes?
Yeah. I'm gonna go. I gotta go. There's the fire.
I also know there's pumpkin spice apple cider, which is the weirdest thing I ever drank. It's apple cider, but it's just slightly more bitter with a cinnamon kind of taste with it. But why not just have apple cider? There's no point in
Apple cider is the premier fall drink.
Yeah, we there's a apple mill like 10 minutes away that we try to hit every year, and
put a little Fireball whiskey in there.
It's pretty neat. It's like an old fashioned. It has like the wood barrels and you watch like all the apples get crushed and all pulped and everything. It's awesome.
Is Morgan Freeman narrating?
What's that?
Is Morgan Freeman narrating? The apples go.
Yeah, only on the first Saturday of the month, though. So
yeah,
is this what you do? It's like they fly me out here every time.
I'm not going to say no to a check like this.
Yeah,
I thought it was apple, but I guess it was the wrong apple. But still, I enjoy what I do.
Exactly.
You can go to the little market they have there and get like apple cider donuts.
It's the best. It's the best. It's very much. I mean, up here we're right by the Adirondacks, and the leaves are definitely starting to pop really good here. But it's definitely it's flannel weather, 100%. Like it's nice out, but it's funny how exactly, Alex. Right there. There's you go again. But no, it's just definitely it's full on like fall. Like I said, Halloween is definitely the season's upon us, and we're trying to do everything we can in the house to kind of keep it festive. The kids are a little bit down because they don't know if they're doing trick or treating or not. And talk about the mother of all Halloweens to have this year. Probably there's a chance that nothing's going to happen or everybody's doing everything because it's on a Saturday, daylight savings ends, and it's a full moon.
Yep.
Like talk about the traffic.
Werewolves.
So I mean, I'm excited. I think it's not. We're not too terrible. We don't get a lot of trick or treaters anyway because we're on the back of the building. No one really knows we're there. So the decorations are more for like the kids. But I think like the only thing we're gonna do for Halloween is like go to my dad's house and let Harrison in his little costume walk up to the door and get a piece of candy from Pepe and Grandma, and go to a couple of my friends' house just to kind of do the same thing. But
that's nice.
Yeah, like I said, and the good thing about it, we keep saying is he's not gonna remember this. So that's always going to be a good thing. So it's his first Halloween that he can like be in a costume, which is adorable and great. But like next year he can do it hopefully without all these silly restrictions.
Yeah.
Sorry, smart restrictions.
Just don't dress up Harrison in a Baby Yoda costume.
No, he's either going to be Buzz Lightyear or he's going to be a parrot.
I'm just afraid Leo would take him in the night.
He's like perched on the windowsill, be like, he's mine.
He's like, he's gonna go in the collection in one of the special boxes.
It's like the Simpsons Treehouse of Horror episode, The Collector.
Exactly. In fact, have him in the mind's eye, dressed up as the Collector, as his Halloween costume.
There's how many freaking?
He's like, look at all the space I can have to put more Baby Yodas up.
Yeah, I need to clear a room for the ones I have. I still got a couple in a box I haven't put up.
Oh, you don't think there's going to be more Baby Yodas for the season that's going to premiere in a
matter of
couple
fact,
weeks?
the friggin' New York Comic-Con exclusive. Baby Yoda holding the bounty hunter like skull. The mythosaur. What? It's a mythosaur. It's their symbol.
Leo, I'm writing this letter because I care about you. Seeing you go down this path has hurt me and hurt our friendship because I don't know if you care about us or about the Baby Yoda. I am concerned that your addiction is ruining the relationships that you have currently, that you live in this fantasy world where you need all the baby Yodas. I do this out of love and caring about you and caring about our friendship and your in your relationship with your friends. Baby Yoda is not real. You are buying toys.
That was awesome.
Thank you, James.
Alex, your turn.
I dressed up, because I thought, since it's important. Cut this shit out.
Okay. Yo.
These are the ways you have hurt me.
Damn,
Big Yoda addiction. Last week, when I asked you to stop this, you said, I'd rather the baby Yodas than you. It hurt. It hurts. Our child.
She can't even look at him the same way anymore.
This kid.
Oh, what the fuck? Oh my God, that's awesome. That is so awesome. Thank you, guys.
We only do it because we care.
We only care about you, Leo. So with that, we have worked with the Skywalker Film Department, and you are getting an all-expense paid trip to rehab, where all they show is the holiday special in the Ewok movies.
You will get to sleep in a tauntaun.
By the ocean.
Speaking of
I
that,
honestly don't think this rehab is probably the best place for him for this. I think we should have talked about this first. I think they're making him like a very overly dependent consumer if we let him take him.
well, that's what.
So going to most likely Wolfie with the Porg comment that he put up there is, I don't have a shelf dedicated to Porgs
Anymore.
No, I never had a shelf dedicated to Porgs. I have no bobbleheads, no Funko Pops of Porgs. I have nothing of Porgs other than a poster that my wife got me for our first Christmas and a couple stuffed animals that have been now sprinkled among the children.
And you had that Porg that traveled the world with you.
That's in Wes's room.
Okay.
Leo, if you woke up one day and went over to check your Baby Yoda collection, and they all seem to be exactly where they were, except now all of them are baby version of Gungans.
You watched way too much Clone Wars.
Yeah.
I think I watched the right amount because a Gungan is basically the most underused, I think, in anything of Star Wars, because you only think of one Gungan for the most part.
It was referenced in Mandalorian, though.
Yeah, but do they show Gungans? I mean, they show a skull in The Force Awakens.
No, they make a joke because Mando doesn't take his helmet off, and they say, he's probably a Gungan under there.
I feel bad because Gungans don't seem that bad. Just,
Wait, what did they do in? What was the skull you said in Force Awakens?
In the desert, there's like a Gungan skull, and I guess it's supposed to be a jab at Jar Jar. Okay, James, fair enough. Leo, you need big help. Big time. You are going to get the Lego child.
Oh, yeah, there's like a life-size Lego thing you can buy of
The child.
the child.
Destroy the child.
Speaking of Lego, your NES Lego set, the top comes off, right?
What top? Like, it's a two-parter thing.
Oh, okay. Somebody showed their Lego NES, and like when you take the top off, it had had the first level in Lego on the side of the NES. I don't know. Maybe they made it. I don't know.
No, I mean, so the top of the NES, you lift the door opens like where normal NES does.
Yeah, this was
Top doesn't come off. It must have been someone might have
they might have modded it. Okay.
Yeah, no, it's definitely my NES doesn't do that. So it's only in the TV is the first level.
Yeah. I know we're bouncing all over the place, but
Yeah, Leo.
Really? Come on, Leo. Bring in the show.
The skeleton in the first Star Wars movie, A New Hope. I didn't realize that was in honor of Dune. It was supposed to be a reference to the sandworm.
Oh, the two skeletons.
Yeah, the dragon in the sand. The what the hell is that called?
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, when they're going over the Dune Sea, you see the skeleton. Okay,
That's cool.
I mean, Dune's not going to get released this year, so hooray for that.
Yeah.
Dune on arrival.
Zing.
So one of the main things I put there's two big news items that came out this week. Conan is coming to Netflix.
Yeah.
Yeah. You guys
Like
excited?
with the string dance and everything. I mean, Andy Richter is he kind of sells that show now, but like,
Or Detective Conan, the anime.
oh, there we go.
But
I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing his.
Sorry.
I wouldn't mind seeing his comic book character in like an animated series.
If they did it like Primal or something, that'd be pretty sick.
Yeah, I mean, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
For me, Conan never was a big property for me that I liked. I've watched the movies. I watched the reboot.
Everyone forgot the reboot. Everyone.
Yeah. So I mean,
Even Momoa doesn't even look like Momoa in that movie.
Yeah.
So I mean, like but I think that was always going to be Schwarzenegger's role. Like it's always what it is. I mean, again, I've always thought like Netflix was good at I always thought Netflix was good at making new IPs or like relaunching old IPs. I never thought they would go to get Conan. I wanted to kind of see how Masters of the Universe does with the Kevin Smith animated reboot, like or resequel or whatever they're calling it. Like that's where I'm more curious about.
Would you have liked He-Man if it was live action?
Depends who's doing it. Realistically, like I said, if it's something that is it you said is it live action or is it animated?
He-Man's animated, but he was asking, would you watch it if it was live?
I thought the reboot was okay. I agree.
I mean, again, it goes back to my stance that I've said in the show numerous times. I'm not opposed to reboots. I'm not opposed to whatever the relaunch is. Tell me a different story with these characters. Give a different take on it. That's what I want to see. But when you had the Conan movie, it literally was the same story. I felt like so.
Well,
except I thought limited. I don't like movies that reboot stuff but limit themselves to be more grounded or gritty sometimes. It's also usually why I have problems with like DC reboots because I feel they actually limit themselves and they do actually making something creative because I don't like quote unquote realistic Superman because it's subjective for writers that are kind of lazy just trying to ground something that's not literally in any form not supposed to be grounded. And along with Conan in the reboot they tried to make the sorcerer like not as powerful because I remember watching the bonus features of that movie and they were talking about how why doesn't the sorcerer just turn Conan into a rabbit? So we had to limit his powers. And it's like, why would you creatively like box yourself in with that kind of logic? Just don't make that one of his powers. It's just weird.
Facebook user, this is probably still Wolfie. I don't think they can pull off a good version of He-Man as a live action film. The cartoon, though,
unless it takes place in like 80s LA, where he interacts with real people from our world, because we can only relate to things if someone from our world or someone else talks to them. Because can you ever imagine a movie where it's fantasy based, where it has no grasp on our current reality? You can't.
Wait. You know what would make that perfect though? You got to get Dolph Lundgren as He-Man though.
perfect.
Yes.
That would be wonderful.
I think they could do it. I think they could pull it off. I mean, I didn't think they could pull off The Witcher.
Yeah.
And they did a really good job with that. I mean, it just depends. It depends how deep you go into the He-Man lore. I think if you go, the first season's very surface level and kind of just setting up it, because I always use, you have to use some sort of like, not a lot of people know who He-Man is. And if you do know it, you know it from the cartoon in the show. So are you trying to separate yourself from the cartoon, or are you starting to move forward with the, we're trying to do your own thing? I think you ran into that with a little bit of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in the 90s, because they tried to do their own thing with the first movie, which I thought was the best of the three movies. Yep. And then they felt like they had to do stuff to interact with the cartoon. And then you did the same thing in the sequel. The first sequel didn't have, Bebop and Rocksteady,
Baxter Stockman.
Yeah, back Stockman. You didn't have those characters, the Rat King, stuff like that. And I know people were clamoring for that. So it's very tough with those 80s properties to walk that line of nostalgia and originality. And I think He-Man could do it, because especially if you're doing a limited series, like 7 episodes, you can tell a pretty good story in those 6 or 7 episodes. If it's a half an hour, it's even easier. Yeah. And you don't have to bog down with like other ancillary characters until like the second season, if you get one. So
from what I understand from listening to Kevin Smith talk about it, is the He-Man series takes place after the comics, so it's going to be in continuity with the comics. And if it has, I think it's using the same company that did Transformers. And if Transformers is any sign of what He-Man is going to do, it's going to be amazing, because the new Transformers is so good. It's have you guys seen it?
No.
It's a take on it. It's definitely its own story. It's
before they get to Earth, right? It's the war on Cybertron.
Well, the first series is during the Cybertron war, and then the second series, which the trailer dropped this week, is going to be on Earth.
Is Frank Weller and Pete Cullen in it or no?
No, unfortunately not. No. The guy that voices Optimus Prime, though, he is trying to do a Peter Cullen voice.
So why not just get Peter Cullen?
I know.
He might not want to do it, because I know a lot of those guys kind of don't want to redo. Regardless of how much money they make, they don't like redoing the same thing, unless you're Maurice LaMarche and he's a godsend. So.
Yeah,
I'm excited for that. Reboot. It's like, as long as you keep the heart and like understand exactly why people like something, like don't just bring back so you can make toys or just merchandising all that first.
Extreme Ghostbusters
or Powerpuff Girls, or like a lot of things that come back solely because it sold a lot in the past, but you kind of miss a few steps when you don't know why people enjoyed it to begin with, because it's almost like product first, merchandise after, because you can't just move merchandise through something if people don't care about it.
That was the whole thing, like Tim Burton said about like Batman Returns, was like they were asking about like toy designs and stuff like that before they even like locked down plot for Batman Returns. That's why he didn't want to do another one.
It also explains why like most of the toys did not seem to have anything to do with the movie at all.
Exactly.
Joel Schumacher seemed to have pretty close designs from what I remember with his toys.
Well, because those movies were built more for selling toys than they were for actually telling a cohesive Batman story.
Don't forget the Burger King glasses too. You got to sell those.
Exactly. You got to fight fast food chains against them. But go what Alex was saying about like Animaniacs, which we'd already talked about. That I sent the video clip weeks ago, and Neil's like, "Check this out." What? No, well, I think what makes Animaniacs a great show is even 20 years after it's been off the air, more than that, 20, maybe almost 30 years. No, because it came out in 92, 91, 92 it premiered or something like that. It was like mid 90s, right?
They'll find out in a moment. Continue talking.
You know, that show was always built on its writing, its speed, its slapstick, and its humor more than anything else.
95 to 98.
No, 93, I believe.
Wikipedia says 95.
What does IMDb say?
The baby O's are changing as they are.
Oh,
93.
okay. It moved to WB in 95.
Yeah, it was on Fox for a while, right?
Yeah.
Got it.
But like I remember like there's a ton of documentaries on it, and Rob Paulson and Marlisa Marsh have been on record, and a bunch of other characters being like Steven Spielberg was heavily involved in that show. Like it wasn't just his name like attached to it. He was like heavily involved in like the scripts and the writing and the humor, and that he said that was one of his favorite like shows he's ever produced was Animaniacs. And it sounds like they got the cast. You know, I'm curious to see because they only announced that it was Pinky and the Brand in the Warner Brothers. Which, by the way, I always thought it was funny that the sister's named Dot, and I didn't get that for the longest time until I realized it. And I was like, oh,
Yeah.
I get it now. Like, and her sister Dot, and I was like, okay. Like it was like way over my head until I got older.
You mean Dottie?
No, it's Dot. It's always been Dot.
Never call her Dottie.
I mean,
So hold on. Is it because it's Warner Bros. Dot?
Warner Bros. Yep.
There you go.
Okay. Just making sure.
But I'm curious if they're going to bring back like the was it the Good Feathers, you know,
Chicken Boo,
Chicken Boot, like all that stuff, like all those extra character, all those ancillary, like Slappy the Squirrel, like was it Skippy?
They got to.
yeah, Slappy the Squirrel.
Slappy the Squirrel, which was like one of the best, like the Bambi episode is still one of my favorite episodes that they're in.
Or good
Yeah,
idea, bad
Bugs and
idea.
Mindy.
Oh yeah, good idea, bad idea. Like I said, like because Rob Paulson does when he was doing his shows, he was doing like Yakko's World from memory live in front of people, and I was like, I need to go to these shows. He was actually in Boston a couple years ago, and I couldn't make it.
We saw him at Terrificon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He goes to Granite Con a lot of like that's a good connection they have with them. He goes to that because he was just there for the team. They did a whole Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles panel 2 years ago. But you know he still does that from memory. So doesn't Jesse Harnell still does do the Yakko stuff. It just shows that these characters like love that show.
Well, they do a what show did they do? They're still doing something on a regular basis. I forgot what it is.
Oh, like Talking Voices? Is that
Yeah.
the podcast?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's it.
Talking Tunes.
Talking Tunes. Yep.
I remember that show. I remember listening to discovering that show like right when it launched that podcast, and like Nerdist picked it up, and it got like a huge like. Then it was doing live shows at like the Lovitz Comedy Club in L.A. It was like that's awesome. But he had throat cancer, right? That's what he had, or he had something with his throat. Rob Paulson.
No idea.
But like I said, it's just, and you find out like, you know, Maurice Lamar still does like the Orson Welles and stuff like that. So
Oh, yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to because, you know, the satire they're going to put towards modern day is really what I'm interested to seeing.
Yeah.
And you already kind of see in the trailer or the clip they showed is they're very much making fun of that it's been 25 years since they last were on the air and kind of making those dated jokes, which the way they perform it looks pretty funny. So I'm glad it's on Hulu. I'm glad it's going to kind of get the attention it deserves. That's a show I just wish never went away.
Now, all the other episodes are on Hulu, right?
Mm-hmm. I've actually tried to watch it with like Wes and Logan, and like it's a little bit over like Wes's head, but like Logan will sit down and enjoy it, and he doesn't get some of the humor and stuff like that. I'm chuckling like a little girl because that's how I laugh. So, but like then I told Logan, I said, if you can do the countries of the world, I will give you $100. Like if you, and I gave him no time limit. I gave him I said, if you can do it, I will give you $100.
Right.
And you have to do it from memory. I mean, I'll do the music. Like I'll find like the beat and stuff if you want it. but like you can do it. And he goes, okay. And then like a week into, he's like, I can't do this. I was like,
Did you raise the stakes?
nope. The offer still stands.
I just wish you would just like eventually close up like, I'll get your own car, you know.
Yeah.
Just to see how far you can push.
Do like a GoFundMe or a Patreon for it. If you can raise this much.
Put a kind of money that constantly keeps getting funded more and more. Like you have a pocket of millions of dollars, and it's like you can only access this money if you can do it from memory.
Well, what is it? It's like the guy who was the guy in the 70s who tried to get like fake psychics out of like they could prove. So it was like a doctor put up like $10,000 or like whatever to anybody, to any psychic or anybody there to prove that they're actually psychic. He would pay him like $10,000 and did like on live television a bunch of times, and no one could do it. And he kept adding to the pot. Like it was crazy. No one could do it. It was like the challenge is closed, but it was an open challenge basically. But he was like, I'll do it for $100. Like I will, I'll memorize that stuff for $100. Alex is like, what's the song you need memorized? Like, but like, you know, even some of the songs like you can think of, and like, you know, Good Idea, Bad Idea was another one. What is it, the wheel? What was the wheel? Spin,
Wheel of Misfortune.
The Wheel of Morality. Wheel of Morality, spin, spin, spin. Tell us the lesson we must, or was it?
Turn.
Yeah, but
I thought you guys were fans.
Well, what is it, Alex?
I am waiting for your answer.
Spoken like a true fan.
I am.
Writing's not that easy, but grammar.
Thank you for
What's that?
our new sponsor.
Thank you, Grammar Learning.
Welcome to Grammar.
Here it is.
Again. So remember the Alamo?
To do another one of our cute little skits?
No, it's time to learn the day's lesson. And to find out what it is, we turn to the Wheel of Morality. Wheel of Morality, turn, turn, turn. Tell us the lesson that we should learn.
Should learn.
I was going to say that.
Today's story is Elvis lives on in our hearts, in his music, and in a trailer park outside Milwaukee.
I'm speechless.
Puts your eyes here, doesn't it? Pardon?
Oh my god.
Oh,
It's just such a good show.
yep.
No, fingerprints.
Throws them out the window.
I can't wait for those jokes again. I wonder if they're going to keep a sharper eye on that now, or they're going to intentionally be like, "Oh no, you can go for it. It's Hulu, baby. Do whatever."
Well, here's the thing. I always and I thought about that with like Lucifer, and it's completely apples to oranges, 100%. But like when Lucifer got picked up by Netflix, I thought they were going to go more towards like, oh, we're on Netflix, we're not on network, we're not on Fox, basically. And they didn't. It was literally like you could still watch the show on Fox. So I think it really comes down to the writers, and I think you had that with that, and I think you even got it with like Freakazoid a little bit. Those two shows,
I miss Freakazoid.
And sometimes
that would be a fun reboot, especially in modern internet day.
Yeah,
because if he's influenced by the internet, could you imagine if Freakazoid had the brain of Reddit?
So Leo,
yeah.
Leo would be
spoiling everything.
He would be his like alter ego essentially. So, would you dare say Freaka, Leo?
Say what? What do I need to say?
No, it's okay. Just suspect. That's all. That's a good show to binge. I kind of hope. God, DC reach out to me. I would be totally down to do a DC comic reboot of Freakazoid. I will totally do it.
I know we totally got off topic, but this turned out to be an awesome discussion.
That was totally on topic.
This show, you want to talk about The Walking Dead, and I literally was like, "It's coming back. No one cares." End of discussion. Like,
actually,
then we sneezed Baby Yoda for a second. And you're like, oh, wait a minute, there's an exclusive coming to New York Comic Con, and it's going to have the skull of the Mandalorian, which you don't see his face, who may be a Gungan underneath. But also, did you know that Baby Yoda has a pumpkin spice variant that's coming off in the middle of October, where it's got a purple color scheme, or with an orange head like a pumpkin? Did you know that?
Actually, I was gonna say, Walking Dead, it came back with no fanfare. It actually came back.
No one cares.
Last weekend. It came back last weekend.
Yeah.
I missed it. What the hell?
Did you really miss it though?
Yeah.
It's kind
Did
of
you?
bad.
It's kind of idiotic though, because it's the season finale was the episode that aired, and it's been what, since March?
What week since you looked at me? Enjoy your earworm, people.
Yeah. I was also going to bring up the Craft trailer. What do you guys think about that?
I didn't see it. I have no desire to.
No?
I wasn't
I'm a fan of the craft.
I just saw the meltdown on Facebook where people are looking at it and just going, "Ugh." Which I think gave me more entertainment than the actual trailer, just by how many diehard Craft fans are just absolutely hate it.
Again, it's one of those movies where I'm just like, cool. Like I don't remember them being clamoring for a Craft reboot. Like,
yeah. I mean, the first was good.
It doesn't look gothy enough, in my opinion. Isn't it supposed to be gothy AF, as the kids say today? Like,
I'm waiting for the Faculty reboot. Come on, that's what I'm waiting for.
Usher will be in it for 3 seconds this time.
I mean, Jon Stewart's character is going to be played by Elijah Wood or Josh Hartnett, because you remember the old one.
are they like thinking to like reboot Buffy or something too, or try something?
Yeah, they want to do it. They want to do it with a. They're not doing it with Joss Whedon though. Joss Whedon's not a part of it, I think.
Okay.
Are we talking about like doing the movie or doing the show?
Another show.
Did we ever talk about, or did I ever bring up last time that the CW is doing a live action reboot with the writer of Juno for a live action Powerpuff Girls show?
Oh God, why?
Yeah,
Why?
You guys didn't hear about that? You can look it up.
I think I vaguely remember hearing about this, but kind of keep it off my head because why?
So because of the popularity of Umbrella Academy, now the Powerpuff Girls are 20-somethings now, and they have a lot of fallout of having their childhoods taken away from them in such a young age. But now as spiteful 20-somethings, they now have to save the world yet again as the Powerpuff Girls, because they're cynical now, and this is CW, baby. We got to be a bit more edge, kind of, because we can't be too edgy because it's CW.
Because Arrow's offline and Arrow's done. Legend of Tomorrow is probably ending, and the Flash
Supergirl is ending.
What's wrong with the world?
Batwoman's coming back, but not Batwoman though.
Yeah.
That's just what's wrong.
No, but that's what I like. It's just like, but Batwoman's coming back. Oh, really? Yeah, but it's not Batwoman though. What? It's a new Batwoman. So it's a reboot? No.
I'm just gonna totally ignore what happened.
She's just gonna go missing again. So now that Bruce Wayne's gone missing, now she's gone missing. Like, if I'm smart, I'm not gonna be a bat person because they just end up missing a lot of the time.
They just need to end the Berlanti verse. I mean, it's just it's played its game. You know, the series is just way too long. You can't. I don't know.
Well, I think I mean, Arrow was the first to go, but that was more of the main character being like, "I'm done."
Yeah, but Arrow
Maybe start somewhere darker. Why don't we stem more from the Swamp Thing-averse and start with the less touched dark universe of the DC Comics?
Well, they had
bringing back Constantine, because I'm all for bringing back Constantine.
I need to.
On the show.
It is.
Not on CW, I hope.
No. It's going to be
DC Universe.
Infinite
DC, they're now trying to
infinite meaning never ending, but yet they're taking away.
Somebody used the acronym DCUI online, and I'm like, that just looks wrong. Why?
Why can't they just call it DC Plus?
I know.
Everything else has a plus in it.
Exactly.
Because if you say it real fast, it sounds like Disney Plus.
Do you think someone somewhere heard that just now and they're just like, damn it?
See, in my mind, I would have been called DC negative, DC minus, because they just take away things.
They do. Yep.
That would fit with all of DC. Like, even call that with the comics. It's just like, oh, I didn't like that reboot. Oh, it's a retcon. Oh, you didn't like that thing. Oh, we're gonna do it. You didn't like the Jokers? Here's 3 of them. Leave us alone.
They're doing a spin-off series from Justice League Dark, and it's going to be Constantine and Zatanna.
Matt Ryan better be coming back as the voice of Constantine.
Yeah, I haven't.
Is it animated or live action?
I believe it's animated.
Okay, yeah, as long as Matt Ryan's doing it, but I've known, what was it, this year Comic-Con, or the virtual Comic-Con or Comic-Con at home, whatever one it was. I know they did like a 20th anniversary of or the 15th anniversary of Constantine with Keanu Reeves, and Keanu Reeves was in the panel, so was the director, and supposedly they're working on a sequel to that Constantine. Yeah,
Why?
because it's a cult movie and a cult following, and they want to keep telling that story. And I mean, realistically, I went back and rewatched that. I think I watched that movie like once every year or two. I enjoy it. It's a fun movie. I mean, Shia LaBeouf is unbelievably terrible, but like watching and then watching,
dies in it. So I mean,
again, I don't really.
Not bad.
No, it's not.
I would rather have a show or movie continuation based off that version of Lucifer, because he was great in the end of that movie. Because he was fun. I want like, even if it was a sitcom, I would just want him all day long, just to be charmingly evil.
But like I said, I mean, and that's what I mean. Like I still think like Papa Midnight in that version is really well done. But like I said, I mean, I watched the Constantine show on NBC when it premiered, and I enjoyed the hell out of that show too.
That was pretty good.
I mean, I wish like if they're bringing like, and that's where Matt Ryan became Constantine. If they brought that back as a reboot on HBO Max, I would watch the hell out of that, especially if you had a writer from like Swamp Thing or from like Doom Patrol or something like that. Like, I'd be all on board with that. Like, and I know Matt Ryan expresses that he loves the character, he loves playing it, he offers to do the voice every single time it comes up. So
it's very his Doctor Who.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. Like I said, and I think that's why it's interesting, because like, I don't think Keanu Reeves was terrible in that role. I think it's Keanu Reeves as this character. And I felt like it did a little bit more of the mythology in that small 2-hour movie than you get with some of the episodes of Constantine. You know, like I said, because like I remember watching the movie, and I was very much like the Black Bible and the Spear of Destiny and those kind of like bit parts that you've seen in other movies and you've heard about in other movies, and they just go in a little bit of detail, like this world exists and stuff. And it was like really interesting. And that was actually one of the first times I ever saw Tilda Swinton in a role, was as Gabriel. And I thought that role was really, really good, and how they separated like good and bad and the visual effects and all that stuff. So, I mean, I'm all for, like I said, I'm all for another one. You know, like I said, it's gonna be entertaining as hell. That's all, you know.
Oh yeah.
HBO Max is doing a really good job at content, and I mean, DC Universe was just a clusterfuck to begin with. So I think with everything being housed at HBO Max, I think we're going to see really awesome quality content coming out for DC.
Have you guys seen? I guess the last thing on Constantine, real quick, is that have you guys heard that like Alan Moore claims they actually met Constantine before?
That seems like an Alan Moore thing to say.
Oh yeah. He claims that he was in like a coffee shop one time, and he actually interacted with Constantine one time, like discovering like his own creation. Essentially, he said he saw him and he knew it was Constantine. There's no doubt in his mind. And why not believe the old wizard? You know. And I'm not even saying that to be facetious.
No,
he is a self-proclaimed wizard to people who don't know.
But why I was like, yeah, that seems like something he'd say.
Yeah, it's just
That's
like
the experience you would have.
oh man, could you imagine if Alan Moore was like your grandpa? You know?
Oh,
Just-
crazy grandpa.
It would just be like, oh, grandpa, you have too much faith in the world, despite how cynical you are. But have you guys seen Close Enough on HBO Max?
Yes. Yep.
It's good, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. Close Enough is good. Raised by Wolves is phenomenal. And I what I was going to say is I think they have hope in DC because they just signed off on an additional $70 million towards reshoots for the Snyder Cut.
Ugh. Yeah. The movie's already been shot and made. Let's throw $70 million more into it. Clearly,
Well, they're
it's
gonna
all there for
well,
reshoots.
yeah.
You're not just making a new movie.
Well, from what I understand, it's going to be a completely new movie. It's going to be using no footage from Whedon whatsoever.
Hashtag Snyder Cut exists, except you're spending $70 million to reshoot things
That should
that
exist.
don't exist.
Well, he didn't finish shooting the movie.
Yeah. And I heard a rumor
So
that
is it 70 million to literally erase everything?
So it's 70 million to finish post-production on visual effects that were never completed that needed to get done, reshoots, as well as sound editing, mixing, and I've done the majority of it's post-production stuff that was supposed to be done for his original cut before he walked away from the project, and then Joss Whedon came on. So they really need to reshoot stuff.
Yeah,
I know Henry Cavill said he wasn't reshooting everything, even though multiple reports saying like he was seen, he was seen on the set where they were doing Justice League reshoots in London.
60 of that million went straight into him shaving his face.
Well, that was the joke. Was
Never
70 million of it. He goes the way the joke goes
Like Batman Beyond, like never again.
never again. Well, I know. Well, I remember I showed it to Jen because Jen was like, I don't remember seeing the trailer, and I watched the trailer with her the other day, and I'm like, I can't wait for this. I'm just excited to see what story they. The bar is unbelievably low for this to be a good movie, so it's like I'm going to enjoy the hell out of it.
and it's going to be a
So-
series. It's not going to be. It's going to be
4 1-hour episodes.
yeah.
He
So-
makes great visuals. I'm not all about the story, but I can always watch his movies. Like I rewatch Sucker Punch anytime I get a chance, but if you try to think about the story, that's some Lovecraftian
that's
Eldritch shit. Because like I know everything that is intended for the story to be. I've watched every breakdown video. I've deep dived into what that film is to see if there actually is a nougat of like something I'm missing. No.
For me, it's like I don't mind Watchmen. Like the visuals on Watchmen are fantastic.
Why can't we get a $70 million reshoot to actually do the ending for that? They did everything else accurately except the actual comic ending.
They did it in the show.
Yeah, for the show, but not the movie. It's like
I
they
forget
already.
why, but there was a reason why. Like I know, like they came out and said something about it. Because that was brought up like numerous times. But even like the version that was intercut with the comic in it is like the best way to watch it.
Yeah, I heard that, but it's like if you're going to go that far to even intersplice the comic bits to make it more like the comic book, why not just do the comic ending?
Well, the comic book was shot for like an extra on the Blu-ray or something like that. Like it wasn't initial, or was it a separate thing? I forget. It was one of the two.
It was a separate thing, but when they eventually snowballed it all together into one thing, it's like, couldn't they have at least done the alternate ending, like as an option? That's the one thing I thought that was kind of weird. I get they probably ran on a budget at that point where they just couldn't do it, but it's like,
or even just give me or even give us the storyboard with like a voiceover with like the actors,
like they did for like 28 weeks later.
Yeah.
Or 28 days later. Sorry.
And,
like I said, just do like pre-animatics or something like that.
Like you guys saw the alternate thing with Batman and Robin being in the first Batman movie with Tim Burton, right?
I thought Robin was the second one.
No. I think it was for the first movie, and they showed the storyboards where he just like came across Robin and basically their relationship was like very quickly like developed, but I guess they took that out of the movie. But the storyboards are online, and they're actually voiced by Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill.
Oh wow!
For the bonus features, so check that out. It's pretty sweet.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, we are a little bit past time. Anything else you guys wanted to discuss before we wrap it up?
I have a comic book in stores right now.
This again.
Sorry if you guys forgot. Sorry I dressed up tonight. But so anyway, I have a comic book in stores right now. I did the artwork for Adam Green's story in the Hatchet Halloween anthology. You sons of bitches.
This
you
again.
Sons
Man,
of bitches.
it's like, Jesus Christ.
What?
I made a comic book. I'm so friggin' artsy fartsy. I'm a creative genius. Yeah, we get it, Alex. Okay, good at drawing. I can't draw a stick figure to save my goddamn life.
I also color. I'm also credited in this comic for being the colorist as well for my stories and stuff. And I even added some extra goodies. So here's like a quick little page of Which Way to Honey Island Swamp.
Where's Leo in these? Is Leo in these?
I don't know.
Let me see. Did I add him as a little Easter egg? You might be mutilated, Leo. You're going to have to find out if you want to purchase it.
I already purchased
I've asked Tim Jones to put Leo in a comic for like years now because I just think it'd be funny for like Leo to be in a comic, but no one does it.
No.
Oh, it'll happen at some point.
He puts the Angry Geeks in there, but doesn't put Leo.
I appreciate you asking, James. It really means a lot to me.
One thing I also did for this special anthology, I also added some extra goodies. So there's some mazes and word searches that I put into the book, along with the Instagram social distance hatchet as well is thrown into the comic. A PSA from your old pal Vic.
That's awesome.
So I love this thing. The colors came out way better than I expected. And it just feels so awesome to go to a comic shop. And of course, they handed it to me out the door because I can't physically go into it right now. But it's so cool. It's so cool. I'm so excited. And, or I am excited. Like I was bewildered today. Like I woke up this morning and it felt like it felt like a birthday today almost. Like no one's celebrating, like that kind of somber, like it's a special day, but and I didn't have a car all day and I was waiting for it to come in the mail and it didn't. So I went down to the local comic shop and luckily they had one more issue left because I ordered a bunch. And it's awesome. And if you get a copy and if you ever see me, I will sign it for you and stuff. And not to sound like pretentious or anything, it's like I'll sign it for you. But I'm beyond words. It's very surreal.
Well, we're extremely happy for you, Alex. Extremely, and I can't wait to get my copy in the mail.
It has 3 variants on Ariscope. Or you can order them, I guess, in variant covers. This one's just the standard cover. Let's see. I guess they have the other variant covers in the back, except they're in black and white on here, I guess. But the colors come off super good, and it's just nuts, you know. I know I keep saying that, but it's like I'm in a Hatchet comic. That's awesome.
I'm gonna reach out to my local comic book shop, see if they got any copies. See if I can add a couple to my. I'm got a order that's going to be coming this week as well.
I'm excited. I ordered a few stuff because I also found out, unfortunately, because of everything going on, they had to close my pull, and I lost a lot of comics.
Oh no!
I was like, Yeah, I assume like, oh yeah, I got to have like a big backlog of comics to catch up on next to my order. So I called in. They're like, oh yeah, we had to close it months ago because it was getting overdone. I was like, oh, I understand.
Well, if there's anything you're missing, let me know. I may have access to stuff. Anything you want to check out.
My Pride. My Pride issue 1.
I want to thank everybody for watching this night or listening tonight as well. And, definitely check out Alex's comic and you can find out more information about it in the show notes. It's Victor Crowley's Hatchet Halloween Tales 2. Available now at your local comic book shop, or you can order it from Ariscope as well. And Alex, where do you like people interacting with you?
And by the way, they have other stories in here too by a lot of great artists and writers. By the way, I don't want to make it all about me. It's an anthology. There's really good stories in it. Dimitri fought a bear, and so cool. You can follow me pure_Alex Hoy on Twitter and pure_Alex_Hoy on Instagram. I have a Patreon where you can check out some of my artwork early, and I have a YouTube channel where you can see my speed arts. There's going to be some things coming in the near future of things I want to update and to announce. I guess, stay tuned. I guess for the most part, there's a lot going on, and especially things that come into the next year, especially. So there's a lot to look forward to, and just getting started. That's what's cool about this. I don't even know.
Awesome! Can't wait! Yo.
Boy Meets Phone on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. If you're following me on Twitter, I know I'm boring. What can you do? Yo Saint Laurent on the same social media channels, and of course you can find me here. James.
Ooh, hi. You can find me on the tweets and Instagram at LongtimeStorm, as well as here on the Dorkening. Also, quick note: I know we had a little bit of fun of intervention and stuff like that with Leo's Baby Yoda session. We have fun with it, but again, same thing. If you know someone who's suffering, you reach out to them. There's great opportunities for people to get help, drug addiction, alcoholism, all that stuff. We use it as a gag, but there are people who are struggling. So if you know people, it's no ill intent. We were having fun. The whole issue, because I have plenty of friends who deal with drugs and stuff like that, and family members. But on another lighter note, my wife is still doing her crocheting cats. And she has some cool spooky surprises for October. But I wanted to show off her awesome creativity that she did for Leo. So she made a little Baby Yoda. Fell again. A little Baby Yoda cat. It's a one of a kind. It's a one of one for Leo. But check out her stuff. She has some pretty cool stuff. It's at Fat Cat Crochet on Instagram and Facebook. So check it out. She did some individual cats, and she's doing some spooky stuff for October. So there's some cool stuff coming down the pipe from her. But also check out my other show. It's Go Time with Jay and James every Monday on the Dorkening Network. We start our October month, our Spooktober month. I don't know what the heck we're calling it yet, but that starts this weekend, where we draft our slashers. So we're going to pick our top 10 slashers, and we're going to draft, make our picks on, who's available, and, kind of make that dream team of slashers and kind of go from there. So check it out. Every week we're going to do a different Halloween themed show, and we're going to go from there. So, and Leo, we're talking about spooky stuff. What is on our next show for October?
Next show, our first show for October, is going to be Bob Anderson from Bob After Dark. He's going to be next week's special guest, and we're going to try to do something special each week. I still need to plan some stuff out, but he is the biggie, friend of James that has graciously said he's going to come back. And can't wait to talk to him. He's an awesome podcaster. And sorry,
so
James.
Get your stories in our comments. He's big into like ghost stories, paranormal stuff. So we're gonna be talking about some of that stuff. So if you have any stories, any paranormal occurrences or instances, definitely shoot us a message on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, anywhere you follow us. We can share those stories with Bob, because I know he likes hearing stories. He's not a fan of telling them. He will tell stories, but I know he said on multiple occasions, especially on the show when we had him earlier this year, that he loves hearing people's stories. So definitely send us those stories for us. If we get a couple good ones, we'll read them on the air, and we'll go from there.
Yeah. I'll create a Facebook event and start sharing that and see if we can get a spot where people can actually write in their stories, so we have them all in one spot. And for me, just Google Leopold. You find a bunch of stuff. Could be true, could be not. I'm not going to say which is which, but more importantly, follow these awesome folks here. There's a bunch of information in the show notes, and definitely, show your love and support, and then head on over to thedorkin.com, which you can find all the shows on the network. And with that, we'll catch you guys later. Have a good night, y'all.
Peace, everybody.
Have a good night, everybody. Love ya, and have a happy Spooktober.
Spooky.
Buy Alex's comic at your local comic book shop.